Hello, hello, hello. Here I am with your market update for August. We are looking year over year at 2023 versus 2024. And I'm going to chat with you just a little bit about how the numbers have changed last year from this year, or from last year to this year. So interesting stats here. If you look at the Metroplex overall, I would say the pricing is, we haven't had a ton of appreciation, nor have we had a lot of depreciation. It's been kind of even. But if you look at specific areas, like Tarrant County is a perfect example. $445 was the average sales price last year. $442 is the average sales price this year. So it's just really holding steady. But then in a place like Ellis County, where there's a ton of new growth and development and lots of new construction and that kind of thing, your average sales price went from $434 way up to $521. So, but then you even had some areas where, you know, in Collin County, which has traditionally been one of the higher valued places, you see a drop from $600 to about $590. So it's not a big drop. We're not seeing any sort of like scary recession type of things. It's just, it's going to, throughout the end of the year, it's kind of like leveling out basically, okay? But here's the really interesting thing about what we're looking at now, and that is the number of closed sales versus the amount of inventory, okay? We, for the longest time, we had so little inventory. It was like 30 days of inventory or less, right? Well, we are up to about 4 months of inventory, which means we've seen a pretty significant increase in active listings and what's available for sale. The even more interesting piece of that is not just the inventory is high, but closed sales are low. We have seen a reduced number of transactions happening right now, which means not as many transactions happening, a higher amount of listings sold. That means that we are going to see days on market increasing. We are going to see listings sitting for a minute. And it's just going to be a more balanced market. It's not a bad market. It's not a bad time to sell your house. That is not true. Houses are still selling. It just might take longer than like the 4 days it was taking back in 20 and 21. So I don't really have an update on interest rates other than I think that we're in the low sixes now. That could be not, don't quote me on that. I think I saw something earlier this week that said 30-year fixed is around 6.25. I have heard rumors of FHA and VA being in the high fives. Again, don't quote me on that. That's not my business, but I will tell you that I've heard speaking of interest rates being at those levels. So that is a good thing, that interest rates are getting us to a little bit more of an affordable place. Months of inventory, I already talked about that. So total sales volume and number of transactions closed being down is really kind of the biggest news of this year, and I do think that the interest rates have a lot to do with that. The other thing I think that we're looking at is the fact that we have a presidential election in 60 days. I will not talk politics with you, but I will say that sometimes when there is an election coming up, we do see people sitting on the fence kind of waiting to see who's going to be in the White House and who's going to be in running the House and the Senate. So whether or not that affects our housing market, we can have a debate about that someday if you'd like to. But if you watch the video I'm getting ready to make, there's another one, and we'll link it here for you also, how presidential elections affect home values. Okay, we will do that. So thanks for watching the market update. If you, as always, if you have questions specifically about your neighborhood, your home, your purchase, something specific that you're looking at, please reach out to us. Shoot me a text message, give me a call, drop in the DMs, whatever we need to do so that we can get you the answers to your questions. So thanks for watching and have a good one. In Tarrant County, we had average sales price jump from $443 to $460. Now, is that a huge change? Is it the 20% crazy things that we've seen happen over the last several years? No, but is it an appreciation of value? Absolutely it is. We saw a decline in like one place, well maybe two, and it was like $5,000 or $10,000. We're not talking about big declines, and So here's the other thing to keep in mind: increase in the total sales volume, because as prices go up and the number of houses being sold, you're going to see more. Because the prices are still going up, but we're not having quite as many houses sell, we're seeing that volume stay about the same. So the other thing you want to know: days on market. Okay, it's not changing a whole lot from last year. Now, from years past, are we still at 25?